Okay, hi, it's Paul Green here from the business community with another one of our Spotlight On interviews. And I'm pleased to say this morning I am joined by Liz Murphy from I Cook You Serve. Hi, Liz.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm tickety-boo, and you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good. So we're going to delve into you and your business life. Oh, I thought I turned everything off. Obviously not. I'm going to delve into you and your business life and find out a little bit about what makes you tick and why you're so lovely at what you do. So before we kick off, do you want to let people know who you are and what you do for anybody out there that doesn't know you?
Yeah, well, my name is Liz and my business is I Cook You Serve. It's a family-run business. It's catering, and we provide evening meals for people that don't want to cook or don't know how to cook. And we also supply buffets, and we are also trained in nutritional therapy. So it's a great job. I'm really happy with what we do. So that's I Cook You Serve.
Well, I've used your services when we were doing face-to-face networking. I use your services, and I'm happy with what you do as well, which is great. Hopefully, we'll be getting back to face-to-face as soon as we can, and I'll be using your service again. So, tell me the journey then. How did you get to be where you are today, running I Cook You Serve?
Oh gosh. Well, as I say, the business is 10 years old, but the idea for the business dates back a further 10 years. So 20 years ago, I looked around and realised that there was not a business like I Cook You Serve that supplied what I currently needed at that time. So I come from hospitality. I come from all my uni years. I didn't go to uni. I had an absolute blast working up and down the country in pubs and restaurants and casinos and all sorts of places. It was brilliant. And it was just really good fun, had a complete blast, and learned everything from the beginning and end of customer service and pubs, restaurants, cooking, all of that. It was really, really good fun. And we lived in as well. So it was like the ugly side of it too. So yeah, I really cut my teeth on that. So that's what the business is based on, that expertise. But at the time, the business started really from not having convenient homemade food available to purchase. So yeah, what was available were ping meals and takeaways and deep fried pub food. And at the time, I was a busy young family working full time, and I didn't want to compromise my time with my daughter, Shannon, who was 3 or 4 at the time, having picked her up from nursery. I didn't want to compromise that time with her because that's precious. And to sacrifice that to then go into the kitchen and make a nutritious meal for the family was a step too far, really. So that's how the business started.
And what was that catalyst then? Was it having a young family and realizing that you couldn't do the stuff you had been doing? So you decided to sort of like set up on your own?
Yeah, very much so. As I say, the idea came 10 years prior to its conception. So yeah, you just sort of live with it, really, don't you? You live with what's available, and life transpired that I found myself as a single parent. I had 2 further children at that point, and it was time really to just get this idea off the ground.
Yeah.
I needed something that would work with the family. I was not prepared to sacrifice time spent with the kids, and I'm not going to miss sports days. I wasn't prepared to do any of those things, so I was quite donkey-ish, really, a bit of a mule. There were things that I were not going to move on, and that was one of them. So I needed something that would fit, and I Cook You Serve fitted perfectly. I'd thought it through from beginning to end, and there was nothing really further to go with. So I picked up a knife and I picked up an onion and I picked up a recipe, and I apologetically handed out little leaflets to the school playground, and everybody jumped on it. Everybody supported me, and it started from there. So there wasn't like a big corporate job that I left. I really respect people that have done that. They take that leap of faith, and I think that's amazing. But that wasn't my story. It was just I just kind of had to get this done until somebody told me I couldn't do it anymore, and nobody's told me that. So I've continued, and the business has grown and developed, you know, to what it is today, and I'm terribly, terribly proud of it. And I challenge anyone to tell me that I can't do it now.
No, absolutely. I think you've proved that without a shadow of a doubt. So, how have things changed over the last 10 years? Then is food provision generally still takeaways and fried foods and things like that? Has it got better? Are people more
Yeah, so much. Yeah, no, so much better. I'm so happy to see that everybody's a little bit better educated. Back when 20 years ago, there wasn't food delivery services with ingredients to your door. There wasn't like recipe cards with everything all measured out. And I think these are great tools for people to eat well. And in the end, that's what we celebrate the most, is that people and everybody deserves to eat well and eat good food, and not have to compromise with the slurry that's packaged up occasionally or quite frequently. But it's better now. Labelling is better. Where laws have come into play now where we have to label better what is in the food that we're producing, and not just food manufacturers like myself, like supermarkets, and so that people can make better decisions on what they're putting into their body. So I'm always happy to see a development on that, and so that people are a bit more empowered and could be better educated, really, and eat better, make better choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And so you talked about your business growth. So Shannon joined the business probably what, 3-4 years ago, or was it longer than that?
3 years ago now. She stepped out of university and stepped straight into the business, and absolutely transformed it. Yeah, incredible addition to the family, to the business, to the iCook family. It's outstanding.
And was that the plan? Was she, or how did it come about that she joined the business?
Well, a natural progression within the business for my own personal development was to understand why eating the rainbow of colours of food was a good thing to do. I knew it was a good thing. We all know it's a good thing to eat colourful, fresh ingredients, but I wanted to know why. So for personal development, I took a nutritional therapy course. Shannon was home on holiday from uni at that particular time, and like she didn't have enough to do, she sort of looked over my shoulder and said, oh, that looks quite good, I might do that too. So we both did it together. It was lovely, had absolutely nothing to do with her degree. It was just another thing for her to just do, and she kind of got her teeth into that. So as I say, that it was personal development for me, but for Shannon it became an aspect of the business that she could head. And that's how she came in, and with that in mind. But what's in fact happened, and she has done that, but in addition to that, she does the whole business element of I Cook You Serve. So I remain in the kitchen, which is my area of expertise, and Shannon remains at the keyboard and at the end of an email as first contact, as everything that is business related. That is completely Shannon's department, and we bounce off each other perfectly, and we celebrate each other, and our business meetings are really good fun and short and to the point. So yeah, decisions get made really quickly. It's absolutely brilliant. She's transformed the business.
Excellent. And am I right in thinking you're looking at bringing on a Kickstarter or some Kickstarters? Is that...
We have already. Yeah, no, she started already.
Tell me a little bit about that, how that came about.
Again, Shannon just headed all of that. Absolutely fantastic. She's a lovely girl. Her name's Chloe. She started a couple of weeks ago now. She's working alongside me in the kitchen, and just as my right hand, really. So the point of the Kickstarter scheme is to invest in that Kickstarter as much as you can, so that it's a 6-month scheme, so that at the end of the 6 month, you either employ, or you in a position to employ, or you send them off with more than they had when they arrived. So Chloe's already got food allergen training, she's got food safety training, she will be bombarded with every element of marketing or anything that we can throw into her to give her a stepping stone onto what she does next. And it's a great scheme. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, no, and again, Shannon's done all the groundwork for that to make that possible for us to do. So we look forward to another Kickstarter, and I just see it as a real opportunity to just chuck all the good stuff into our young people, to just give them a head start.
Excellent, excellent. So COVID's been a bit of a bastard this year. And, you know, particularly has impacted, I guess, the hospitality and food industry. How have you guys been through that? You know, how have you coped through, you know, what is a totally unexpected and shitty time for a lot of businesses?
I think you are so talking my language there, Paul. You have just summed it up so beautifully. You just, all I need to do is put a garnish on that, isn't it? Yes, it was a complete and utter bastard, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it touched us on every level. So buffets were flying out the door. We were having a great time. It was all good. And then one by one, every venue stopped. So with that, every buffet stopped, and it was a real domino effect. And we didn't really appreciate, I think, how much we relied on the buffets as a business to keep us all going. But alongside the buffets, we always still had the fill your fridge. We always had the evening meal delivery service. So once we realised that COVID was not transmittable through the food, we were like, right, we can do this. So we carried on, and we just worked all the way through COVID, all the way through the pandemic. The business model as it was remained the same. We still had a doorstep. As a personal safety point of view, we had a doorstep delivery, but then that obviously changed into sort of a contamination point of view. So that was already in play. Shannon already got a website sorted out. We already had online ordering. So we were able to just, you know, invest into that. And then further, we took on telephone ordering. So those that were not quite so au fait with the internet could order over the telephone. So just to capture people at this time of you know, uncertainty, it was really important that we just sort of remained consistent. COVID kicked our ass on a personal level. I lost my dad to COVID, which was completely heartbreaking. So I understand how life-changing it can be. But what we wanted to do as a family and as a business was just to be that rock solid, you can rely on us, we will absolutely be here, and we will go through this together. And all the way along, you will eat good food. And there was never going to be a compromise on that. So I queued. I spent most of COVID queuing in a mask for food. Communication was okay from my suppliers, at least, because we were small and independent. We were able to, you know, just work around anything that wasn't available. We just sort of changed tack. So we picked up a few vulnerables as well, those that were unable to get their online shopping orders, or those that just whose lives just completely shut down. So we were in contact. PAs got in contact with us so that we could facilitate those that couldn't leave the house or anything like that. So, and we've managed to keep them as well, even though life has opened up again. We have kept them because they just enjoy the variety and the food and the relationship now, because we've been through all of this and continue to go through it. Some people, you know, still remain at home. So, yeah.
Well, rice and pasta was being wiped off the shop shelves, wasn't it? People were, as well as toilet paper and everything else that people were stockpiling for some unknown reason. I mean, the story about that, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but the sales of penis-shaped pasta went up in Ann Summer. that was the only place that people could buy pasta, so they were going to buy it there. And Summer did quite well out of it. So that's probably more information than you needed. But so I asked people on these calls, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. but it's really about, you know, what drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning, you know, what is your why, what keeps that motivation going,
Yeah.
particularly through, you know, the hard times you've had in the last 18 months. So what do you think it is for you, Liz?
For me, it is. I just sound like an angry middle-aged woman, but for me, it's the continual frustration and just the non-compromise. I'm done compromising on food. I'm done compromising on time. What was out there when my business started wasn't good enough, and although the business has started now, the more you know, the more you come to understand how food comes about and where it comes from, the less accepting you are. You know, it's just not good enough that we have all these fruit and vegetables that are imported from across the globe with all the air miles and everything that goes with it. You know, if we just ate more simply, it would be just so much better for everybody. So yeah, they're just not compromising anymore on food. The other why is being flexible. I like the flexibility of our menu changing every week. You know, I celebrate being able to do that, and the freedom, really. So that's my why. I'm free to enjoy what I'm doing, and my passion is in the kitchen. And whilst I'm in there, Shannon's in here generally, doing all the rest of it that makes a business, keeping the communication open, keeping everything for our clients. So yeah, we bounce off each other really nicely.
Excellent. So I guess when you started, there wasn't much competition. Is there much out there now? And if there is, you know, what would you say distinguishes you from any competitors out there offering?
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, no, there wasn't anything really. What was out there was poor, as I've said, ping meals or deep fried pub grub, or takeaways. None of which are sustainable really for anybody. So yeah, the thing that differentiates us, I would say, first, there are four things really. Is that we serve fresh, not frozen. Four things in combination with each other. So fresh, not frozen. There's nothing wrong with frozen, but ours is fresh, and that gives the client then the flexibility to do with that food what they choose, to either serve it there and then, or just pop it in the freezer to eat later, or, you know, to plan ahead if there's a holiday coming, or, you know, great aunt, whoever is coming, then yeah. So it's fresh, it's ready to eat and reheat. And again, sorry, somebody's just come in. It completely threw me off there. Yeah, it's ready to eat and reheat. Sorry, the menu changes every week as well. That is quite fundamental, really. So you can get a menu that will repeat itself every week, and that's great. It's all good. Sometimes it will change 3 or 4 times a year to fall in line with seasons, but ours changes every week, and it's exciting, and we can capture sort of national days, all of those things. And the fourth thing is that it's a family business, and everything around the business is Northampton central. Everyone that has anything to do with our business is generally Northampton, and we all do a little happy dance when an order comes in. We write our blogs, and so we're quite BuzzCon central as well, really, because, you know, there's been a lot of BuzzCon members that have supported our business from beginning to end. Yourself, as you know, first and foremost, you know, you've been incredible support to our business. So yeah, so they're the 4 things I think that make us different to the competition. But I celebrate the competition. There's plenty for everyone, and in the end, as long as everybody's eating well, that's what counts.
Absolutely. So we mentioned the COVID earlier. Outside of that, in your 10 years of business, what would you say has been your biggest challenge that you face as a business owner?
Time. Time or lack thereof. I used to think, gosh, there are 24 hours in a day, and there are 7 days in a week, and unless you're using all of them well, then you do not get the excuse of not having enough time. You know, amazing things have been done by all sorts of talented people, with the same amount of time, with the same 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So, but what challenges I have faced first and foremost is, without a doubt, is balancing time priorities. So having a young family, yeah, that was a big balance. Changes that happen within the family. So when they go to a different school, or so then you're managing the house and you're managing the family, and then you throw some old parents at that as well. And the fact that it can all stop on a heartbeat, it can stop on a phone call. That has been a real massive challenge, I would say, is just managing time. But because we've gone through that, we understand what it's like for our clients, and for clients that have those same pressures. Working full time. I've done the working full time bit. I've done the stay at home bit. I've done the hospital calls bit. It's really hard. But yeah, time was without a doubt the biggest challenge. Probably because I'm not great at relinquishing responsibility for things. So yeah, that would be one of my tips, I think, would be to ask for help.
Yeah. I think that's common with a lot of small businesses, actually. But just that. So you've kindly agreed to share some of your knowledge with us.
Okay, thank you. So I Cook You Serve. All the elements of I Cook You Serve really are encapsulated really in the logo. So I want to kind of talk around that, if I can, to impart my expertise. The logo, hopefully you can see the logo. It is an apple, and it is a butterfly, and it is a love heart. They are the three elements of I Cook You Serve. And I hope that you can see that they are put together and they are completely seamless. They're completely seamless, which makes it a little bit perfect, which is, again, the point of the business. So the apple element, obviously, is the ingredients element of I Cook You Serve. And I just wanted to talk around ingredients, really, and how important they are. It goes without saying, to eat well, everybody deserves to eat well. But to do that, you've got to give your body the good stuff. So by that, I mean buying fresh, buying seasonal, buying local as much as possible. And it's not just food that's good for you, it's food that's good for the planet as well. So I just would like everyone, if next time you go shopping, is just to stop and think about what it is you're putting into your body. Prior to that, stop and think about your body. Think about this incredible gift that you've been given, and how clever it is, and how impressive it is. And how we should just really celebrate it and give it everything it needs. Don't work against it. Stop working against this incredible engine that powers you. Fuel it with everything good. And generally, everything good is in nature. It's rarely found in anything highly processed. It's rarely found in anything that food manufacturers are benefiting from, or it doesn't always have to have a big old sticky label on it. 9 times out of 10, the good stuff doesn't have a label. It doesn't have a big marketing advertising team talking about it. It's sat there like an apple on a fruit stall, quietly being healthy and green and all red, local, seasonal. So hang around the fruit department, hang around the veg department, and just open your eyes and see what's there, because it is incredible. And if you look at every element in isolation, carrots are great for your eyesight, they're great for all sorts of things. But if you couple that with a pepper, you couple that with the green stuff, you couple that with some broccoli, you have like a rainbow of food, and your body will just completely celebrate that. So, and it knows exactly what to do with it. So give your body all of that stuff. Now, there are lots of ways that you can do that. You can do that on the plate. You can do that in a soup. You can do that in a smoothie. We will always be here to help you and advise you to give yourself the good stuff. So before you can even think about putting anything in your shopping trolley, think about your body, think about how it works, and think how much it has to compromise based on what you put into it. It will stop working. It will stop at one point, and it will say no more. So get to it before that point kicks in. So yeah, stop and think about who is going to benefit most about what you're about to put into your body with everything you eat, even if you just do that for one day. Another area I would say would be to keep a food diary. Do that. It will be a complete revelation if you include everything. And if you just do it for yourself, again, there's lots of ways to do that. You can do that with a pen and paper. You can do that with an app on your phone. There's endless ways of recording data, but do it. It will be a surprise. And alongside your food diary, the quantities and the time that you eat, also record how you feel. And you will find, if you do it for long enough, there will be a pattern, and you can identify the pattern, find out what it is you want to do, and identify what it is you need to start or stop. So that would be a big tip for me. So that's the apple element. I could talk extensively about eating well and food poverty, but that's perhaps one for another day. The other element would be the butterfly, to give yourself the freedom. The butterfly for the logo represents the client freedom to do what they want to do whilst they're using our services, but it goes far beyond that. It's also about independence, making choices, food choices for yourself, really, and supporting other businesses as well. So yeah, there's a lot around that. The love heart element talks obviously enormously about our love for our clients, but it's also about our love for the community. So get involved with your community. Every business can get involved with the community around them. Open your eyes and see who's around you, who's needing your help, who's needing your services, and start sharing your expertise with people. You get what you give, really. I have come to find. So that's the love heart element. So those three in combination really will set you in good stead. Eat well, record what you eat, and enjoy the freedom that gives you. The freedom of living independently, the freedom of being able to adapt to dietary changes because of medical conditions. The information is all there, and to love yourself and to love your body and to love your community and the planet. So that's I Cook, You Serve.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I knew the story about your logo because I think you shared that before. Who designed the logo for you?
It's a lady called Lorna Chamberlain, because she's got married. She is ML Creative. She was a uni student at the time, and she got to know me in the kitchen and got to know my business, and we just came together, and that's what she came up with, which was just completely perfect. She understood kind of the motivation behind everything that I was doing, and yeah, that's what she came up with, and I love it. We went through a rebrand with Shannon joining the business, and all the colours changed, and it evolved and it grew, and I was really pleased. But that was my only non-negotiable. But Shannon loves the logo too, so yeah, we've managed to cling on to it, so which I'm pleased about.
Nice one. So what's your view on nutritional supplements? Because a lot of people believe that there's not as much nutrients in food now as there used to be 50 years ago. So they feel that they have to supplement that. What's your stance on that? What's your view?
Yeah, I mean, there's a place for it, without a doubt. I would take medical advice, really, regarding supplements, but you can get an awful lot from food if you just stop eating. It's not necessarily to supplement. You know, even if you just stop eating, you could eat all the supplements in the world, but if everything else you're eating is utter rubbish, highly processed, highly salted, highly sugared, then the supplements are not gonna. They can't do it all, really. So there's a place for them. There's a place for everything. It's about balance, really. But you can get an enormous amount from your diet, from your fresh fruit and from your veg and your proteins, as long as it's all balanced. But yeah, that's why keeping a food diary is quite good. You can identify areas that you're weak in and or want to do better in. And even if you're healthy, you can still track all of that information and monitor it and identify areas that you want to do better with. So, you know, we've done food diaries for athletes and for runners and for all sorts of people that just want to do better and get more from their body. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't knock the supplements. There's a place for them. If you have a dietary requirement that means that you know, you can't hold on to that nutrient, if there's a medical reason why that your body's not producing that for itself, then there's always a place for it. But equally, I would say the best medicine in the world is always going to be found in nature, and it's always going to be found, you know, in food. It is without doubt the best medicine ever. There's hundreds of food quotes out there that support that, and nature generally has the answer to everything, in my view.
Well, that's why I asked for your view. So final thing then, as one small business owner to any others out there, what would be your one top tip for businesses?
Yeah, time. Ask for help. I'm going to tap back into what I said earlier, to ask for help, and just recognize, really, I'm older now, so I do sort of like see that, get a good group of people around you and they want you to succeed. The biggest people around us in our business want our success as much as we do, and likewise we want to see success in other people. But beyond that, I would say an element of some personal development. Identify something that you can tap into that will get you through like tough days. And as you say, we're both business owners. We both work in the business community. If we can find something that will just get us back and fighting fit again. So for me, that's Taekwondo. I've gone back to training in Taekwondo, and that just gets me through hard days. I tap back into that energy. I tap back into that philosophy, that way of thinking. And it also is just sort of like, I'm having a good day, I'm feeling great. And yeah, so we celebrate that. So I would find something that isn't necessarily related to your business, that is completely separate. You can leave your stuff at the door, go do, and that could be swimming, it could be ballroom dancing, could be anything. For me, it's Taekwondo. So yeah, find an element of personal development and use that, tap back into that.
Excellent. Your ordeal is done now, Liz. Thank you. Thank you for your time this morning. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for your insights. Thanks for your sharing your story. And yeah, I'll let you go there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks ever so much, Paul. See you again soon.